To the chosen collective, to the rising pillars of the new earth, to those who have recently stepped into influence, visibility, and accelerated favor, this is an emergency broadcast. We are no longer in a slow transition. We're in a rapid elevation phase. Doors are opening faster than expected. Resources are being released without resistance. Recognition is finding you without pursuit. And because of this, there is a silent threat emerging, not from dark forces, not from external adversaries, but from something far more subtle. Forgetting where you come from. Hear me clearly. Many do not fall because they are attacked. They fall because they disconnect from their origin. And when you disconnect from your origin, you disconnect from your alignment. And when alignment is lost, everything that is built begins to deteriorate quietly. So I speak now, not casually, but with urgency, precision, and authority. This is the correction before collapse. There was a time, not so long ago, when you were navigating uncertainty. You didn't know how things would work out. You didn't know who to trust. You didn't know if your efforts would ever be recognized. You were studying in silence, working without acknowledgement, showing up without applause, believing without evidence. And in those moments, you developed something powerful, character. But now, that same individual is being placed in rooms where people listen when you speak, doors open when you arrive, opportunities are offered without resistance. And here's where the danger begins. I once observed an individual who came from nothing. They valued every opportunity. They respected every person. They carried humility like a shield. Then within a short span, their life changed. They received money. They gained recognition. They were introduced to powerful circles. And slowly, something shifted. They stopped acknowledging people. They began speaking with entitlement. They started believing that their position was self-created. Within a year, the same doors that opened closed. Not because they were unworthy, but because they became misaligned. This is how it happens. Not loudly, not suddenly, but subtly. If I said it correctly. Let me remind you of something sacred. There was a version of you who prayed when no one was watching, who cried when no one understood, who kept going when everything suggested you would stop. That version of you is not to be forgotten. That version of you is your anchor. Next example. There was a woman who used to sit in her car before work just to gather herself because life felt overwhelming, because she didn't feel seen, she didn't feel valued. But she showed up every single day. Years later, she became a leader, respected, recognized, elevated. But she never forgot those months in the car. When she led others, she led with compassion. She listened. She uplifted. She remembered what it felt like to almost break. And because she remembered, she was able to sustain her elevation. This is the difference. Those who remember remain. Those who forget fall. Our forefathers, ancestors, ascended masters, however you wish to call them, were not always celebrated, but they were correct. They told us, stay grounded, stay humble, don't let success change your heart, respect the journey. And at the time, those words sound simple. But remember, we understand now, they were protective instructions. Another example. There was a man raised with very little. His grandfather told him one thing: never forget the ground you stood on when you had nothing. He carried that with him. He became successful, built businesses, gained influence, entered powerful rooms. But every year, he would return to the same neighborhood, walk the same streets, reconnect with the same people. Not because he had to, but because he chose to remember. And because he remembered, he never lost himself. His success didn't corrupt him. It refined him. Understand this clearly. We are not building ordinary leaders. We are establishing anchors of the new earth, which means you are not just seen, you are observed. Your behavior sets precedent. Your words carry weight. Your actions create ripple effects. So when you forget where you come from, you don't just affect yourself, you distort the standard. And the new earth cannot be built on distorted leadership, you see. Memory is not weakness. Memory is protection. It protects you from arrogance, entitlement, disconnection, misuse of power. Because when you remember, you move differently. You don't dismiss people because you remember being dismissed. You don't overlook others because you remember being overlooked. You don't abuse authority because you remember what it felt like to have none. This is how true leaders are formed. So I am issuing this now as a reinforced emergency directive to the entire collective. Do not forget where you come from. Not when you gain wealth, not when you gain recognition, but not when your name carries influence. Especially not then. Stay connected to your origin, your discipline, your humility, your truth, your journey. Because these are the things that will sustain you when everything else shifts. There are two types of people who rise. Those who rise and change, and those who rise and become more of who they always were. The first group burns out. The second group builds legacy. We are in a defining moment, a moment where elevation is happening at scale. But elevation without remembrance is a pathway to collapse. So rise, expand, lead, build. But in every step you take, carry your past with honor. Carry your journey with respect. Carry your origin with pride. Because the moment you forget is the moment you begin to fall. This is an emergency broadcast. Let it be heard. Let it be applied. Let it be lived. Ashe.
The shift has begun. Alignment is no longer optional.
From the heart of the sun, a chosen light rises. The child of the sun.
There comes a moment when presence alone shifts the world.
Harmony, compassion, justice, not ideals, the foundation of what comes next.
Said I was crazy because they couldn't see what I see. I'm making a difference. I finally see it. The world is ready, and I was made for this.
There was a time when peace was only a dream, but today we make it the standard.
For generations, humanity has pursued peace. Today, we structure it. But peace must become a system, structured, protected, and universal.
Peace becomes the standard. Aligned across all nations, all people. Lives. Where leadership stands, peace is enforced.
Your homes were taken in silence, through deception, through lies. But what was taken will be returned. And when it returns, it brings life back with it. Know your rights. Reclaim your home. Learn how.
Chosen leader.
To master the world, one must first master the self. And to master the self, one must align with the divine purpose within. Power without alignment is chaos, but power guided by purpose
And when many hearts beat in that harmony,
the world changes.
Together then.
Together.
I understand now.
We are connected. It was always within us.
Something is happening worldwide and no one can explain it.
This is not the end of the old world. This is the beginning of the true one.
Holds its breath. Something unseen is moving. Not a conquest, an alignment. A new Earth is rising. The alignment has begun.
Haiti rises from survival to sovereignty. A new era begins.
In a world rebuilding its order, policy must be enforced with precision, not by fear, but by structure. Accountable, disciplined, unified. EC.
Every choice has a consequence. You chose the game.
We declare the framework for sovereign abundance, not by chance, by design. It is not charity, it is alignment. We share knowledge, we build systems.
Capital isn't abstract, it's infrastructure. 5 years, 5 million liquid per member. 20 years, compound growth at scale. 40 years, multi-billion status. Oh.
They thought no one was watching. They interfered, manipulated, tested the limits.
They fucked around.
And they found out.
Is declining, but humanity's search for God is rising. This is not the end. This is the beginning of cosmic governance. A structure becomes a planet becomes a network, and that network becomes the conscience of our species. We build paths for those who will follow.
That system is over. No crowds, no noise, no influence. Everything.
For too long, justice has been misunderstood. Not punishment, but transformation is the standard. This is Elysium Central. Here, accountability meets compassion. Every step, every conversation moves us closer to who we can become. Hope resides here.
What if science was only half the equation?
Arcane Collegium, expanding knowledge beyond the visible.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I got in? Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe it. Believe it. You earned this.
Hello?
Hello, this is the Office of Admissions at Arcane Collegium. I'm pleased to inform you that you've been accepted.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
This place is unreal.
Feels like we stepped into a storybook. And we're in it now.
You ready?
more than ever.
At Arcane Collegium, your journey begins the moment opportunity finds you. One decision, one message, one future. Welcome to Arcane Collegium. Advancing mind, advancing humanity. The desperation phase is over. Every last attempt has failed. What was hidden is now returning. Order is restoring.
In times of great change, clarity must lead. When one is chosen to see ahead, wisdom is found in listening. Follow the guidance of Sebastianus, not from feet.
True power is not domination. It is mastery of self. If you wish to change the world, elevate the consciousness that shapes it. Be formless. Be sovereign. Lead the way.
Every choice has a consequence. You chose the game.
Not just a contract, a covenant.
Delegates from across the globe are in Geneva tonight for the first Global Orbital Stability Summit. They're seeking a binding agreement on space traffic coordination and debris mitigation. Here's
For those who lead, a covenant sealed in honor, fidelity, and purpose. The standard is higher.
To master the world, one must first master the self. And to master the self, one must align with the divine purpose within. Power without alignment is chaos, but power guided by purpose
And when many hearts beat in that harmony,
the world changes.
Together then.
Together.
I understand now.
We are connected. It was always within us.
Something is happening worldwide and no one can explain it.
This is not the end of the old world. This is the beginning of the true one.
Celestial Dynasty, your shield.
Capital isn't abstract, it's infrastructure. 5 years, 5 million liquid per member. 20 years, compound growth at scale. 40 years, multi-billion status.
The world forgot how to love. But the divine has returned with sacred guidance. Join the Celestial Institute. Restore love to the earth.
Screen. Activate. Deploy. A simple, deliberate framework, moving us toward a clear point in time. January 1st, 2029. Forward to...
The world forgot how to love, but the divine has returned with sacred guidance. Join the Celestial Institute. Restore love to the earth.
Leadership requires clarity, stability, and trust. That's why we operate above the old world compensation paradigm. Elevated stewardship compensation framework. Resourcing responsibility. Protecting integrity.
Let the age of abundance begin.
From alignment comes structure. From structure, mastery. And from mastery, responsibility.
I am a chosen one. I am a chosen one. A divine being of light of all mankind.
And the definitive enforcer of the universe's advancements for the betterment of all mankind.
For the betterment of all mankind.
One by one, they awaken. Heart steady, purpose clear, synchronize. They are no longer awakening. They are now activated.
Something is changing. The systems you know are no longer enough. A new structure is being built. Alignment, abundance, evolution, continuity. Enter and begin.